Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Well, get ready, because today we're going way back, like Old Testament back.
Oh, intriguing. Where are we headed?
2 Samuel chapter 17 to be exact.
I can already sense some timeless wisdom waiting to be unearthed.
You got that right. It's a story of political intrigue, rebellion, and some really high-stakes advice-giving, all surprisingly relevant even today.
I'm all ears. What's the setup?
All right, picture this. Absalom, King David's son, wants the throne, and he's not asking nicely.
A classic power struggle, huh?
You could say that. So Absalom knows he needs a solid plan to pull this off, right?
Yeah.
He gathers his advisors, hoping they'll point him in the right direction to take down King David.
So who are these advisors? Anyone we might know?
Oh yeah, two key players here. You've got Ahithophel, known for his strategic brilliance, think mastermind tactician.
Okay, someone you definitely want on your side.
And then there's Hushai, secretly loyal to King David, but pretending to be on Absalom's team. Talk about a high-pressure situation. Now that's some serious drama. I can see where this is going. Conflicting advice, tough decisions.
Exactly. So Ahithophel, being the military genius he is, advises Absalom to go for a swift, decisive attack. Hit hard, hit fast, end the rebellion before it even gains momentum. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, from a purely strategic standpoint, I can see why that would be his recommendation.
But then Hushai steps in, and knowing Absalom pretty well, he takes a completely different approach. He plays right into Absalom's pride and ambition.
Ah, so he's appealing to his ego.
Totally. Instead of a quick strike, Hushai suggests gathering a massive army, a force so vast that it would just crush David in a glorious display of power.
Clever. He's using Absalom's weakness against him.
And wouldn't you know it, Absalom falls for it hook, line, and sinker. He chooses the spectacle over strategy, a decision that's going to have some serious consequences.
Oof, a classic example of how pride can lead to downfall. But what about Ahithophel? How does he react to all of this? Well, seeing his wisdom rejected and knowing the disaster this is all headed towards, he's devastated. So much so that he takes his own life. A tragic end for someone known for his brilliance.
Wow, that really makes you think, doesn't it? How often do we let our own ego or desires cloud our judgment, ignoring sound advice simply because it doesn't align with what we want to hear?
Right. It's a powerful lesson, and we'll dive even deeper into that as we continue. But before we move on, I want to shift our focus to David's response to this whole ordeal. Even while running for his life, he shows remarkable resilience and faith.
That's an interesting contrast to Ahithophel's despair. It seems that David's faith plays a key role in how he navigates this challenging situation. You know, it's really striking to see how differently Ahithophel and David react to this whole situation. One succumbs to despair, the other finds strength to carry on.
It's almost like David sees this rebellion not as a defeat, but as a challenge, an opportunity for growth even.
That's a great point. David's resilience isn't about denying the reality of what's happening. It's about choosing to focus on hope and finding the strength to keep going.
And that really comes through in how he interacts with the people around him, don't you think? He doesn't isolate himself. He doesn't just wallow in despair. Instead, he seeks support from his loyal followers.
Absolutely. And not only that, he receives help from some pretty unexpected sources. There's this powerful moment in the text where David, while on the run, is given food, supplies, even encouragement from people who could have easily turned him away.
It's a beautiful testament to the importance of community, of having people to lean on during tough times.
Right.
We weren't meant to go through these challenges alone.
It speaks volumes about the power of vulnerability, too. Reaching out to others, allowing ourselves to be supported. It's not a weakness, it's a strength.
And you know, that brings us back to one of the core themes we touched on earlier, the need for wise counsel. I mean, think about it. Absalom had brilliant advisors at his disposal.
He did. But his pride led him to disregard the advice that didn't align with his desires.
It's like that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Right.
Even the best advice is meaningless if the person receiving it isn't open to hearing it.
So true. And that's a challenge we all face, even today. We're constantly bombarded with information, opinions flying at us from all directions. It can be overwhelming trying to figure out what's truly valuable.
It's like we need to develop this internal filter, a way to cut through the noise and identify the voices that really deserve our attention.
You hit the nail on the head. And building that filter starts with self-awareness. Humility, too. Being willing to consider different perspectives, even the ones that challenge our own preconceived notions.
So it's not just about surrounding ourselves with smart people. It's about cultivating the humility to actually listen to them and learn from them, even when their advice might be a little hard to swallow.
And sometimes, the most valuable insights come from the most unexpected sources. People who see things from a totally different angle.
It really makes you stop and think about the choices we make every day. How often do we let pride or stubbornness lead us down the wrong path?
Or ignore that inner voice, that intuition that might be nudging us in a different direction. It happens to the best of us.
This story really is packed with so much wisdom, even though it's thousands of years old. We've talked about the dangers of pride, the importance of seeking wise counsel, the power of resilience and community. But there's one more theme that I think we need to address, one that underpins everything else: faith.
And that's a big one. David's trust in a higher power is a constant source of strength and guidance for him throughout this entire ordeal. But what does that really mean for us today? How do we even define faith in a modern context?
As we delve deeper into this idea of faith, it strikes me that David's faith isn't just about believing in something bigger than himself.
It's definitely more than that. It's about letting that belief guide his actions, his decisions, even when he's surrounded by uncertainty and fear.
So it's active, not passive. It's about trusting that there's a plan, even when you can't see the whole picture.
Exactly. Remember, even while he's on the run, David constantly seeks guidance and trusts that he's being taken care of. He doesn't see his challenges as some kind of punishment.
More like opportunities for growth, almost like a refining fire.
That's a great way to put it. And that's precisely where faith comes in. It doesn't shield us from difficulties, but it does give us the strength to move through them.
But let's be real. In today's world, with all its complexities and constant change, how do we even cultivate that kind of faith? It can feel pretty elusive.
It's a journey, that's for sure. And there's no one-size-fits-all answer. For some, it might involve connecting with a spiritual community.
Or maybe finding solace in practices like prayer or meditation.
Others might discover it by immersing themselves in nature, reflecting on the wonders of creation.
And for some, it could be about serving others, putting compassion into action, recognizing that we're all interconnected in this journey of life.
At the end of the day, faith boils down to a choice. A choice to believe that there's more to life than what we can see or touch.
A choice to believe that even amidst all the chaos, there's a force of love and goodness at work in the universe.
It's about tuning into that inner voice that speaks of hope and encouragement, even when the world around us feels like it's falling apart.
And trusting that voice enough to let it guide our steps, even when the path ahead is shrouded in mist.
David's story, as we've seen in 2 Samuel chapter 17, is a powerful reminder of the strength we can find in faith. It's not about naive optimism or sticking our heads in the sand.
It's about facing our challenges head-on with courage and a deep-seated belief that we're not alone in the struggle.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into 2 Samuel, I encourage you to take these insights with you. Ask yourself, how can I cultivate more humility in my life?
How can I be more open to seeking wise counsel? How can I nurture resilience and build stronger connections in my community? And how can I deepen my own sense of faith, whatever form that may take?
Those are powerful questions, ones that I hope will continue to resonate with you long after this conversation ends.
And until our next deep dive, keep exploring, keep asking those thought-provoking questions, and keep seeking knowledge. It's out there waiting to be discovered.